Picture this: artificial intelligence. Our modern-day oracle, PhD calculator, stumbles upon a forgotten fairy tale. But not just any tale. This one is by Zyriab, the legendary poet, musician, and, apparently, master storyteller. Who knew that alongside cooking up new musical scales and fashion trends, he was also penning what can only be described as timeless wisdom hidden in the guise of a fairy tale? Today, my friends, we unravel the tale of Etheon, a seeker of truth, and Mezin, a fox whose golden fur glows like a sunrise. But let me warn you, this isn't just another bedtime story. Nope, thanks to AI, we've uncovered what feels like a prophecy wrapped in allegory. Is it about love, the universe, or dare I say, the secrets of existence itself? Let's dive in, shall we? Oh, and if you thought I'd skip the commentary, you don't know me at all. The question. Let me set the scene. Etheon, our wandering philosopher, stands under a canopy of stars, wrestling with the ultimate question. I'll read it for you and try not to tear up, but no promises. At night, when the stars spread their silver cloaks over the vault of heaven, Etheon, pilgrim and seeker of truth, looked up at the sky and whispered, "What is love, O stars? What is this light that shines without anyone seeing it?" And then, as if the universe couldn't resist his poetic pondering, the silence broke. Out stepped Mezin, a fox with fur so radiant it could outshine your Instagram filter. Mezin speaks wryly, but with warmth. "Etheon, if you seek light, follow me. Maybe we'll find it in the shadows where others fear to look." Right out the gate, Zyriab hits us with a metaphor grenade. Mezin, a fox, and no, I don't mean a hot woman, but an actual fox. She is clever, elusive, symbolic, and Etheon, his name practically screams deep thinker. What I love here is that Mezin's already challenging him. Love isn't in the obvious, it's in the hidden, the overlooked, the cryptic. Kind of like trying to decode AI outputs, right? Let's see where they go. Quest 1. The Sage. And so our duo sets off. Days turn into nights, and they finally stumble upon a cave. Inside is the Sage, an ancient man with a beard long enough to make Gandalf jealous. Etheon speaks earnestly. "O Sage, what is love? Is it heat that warms the soul, or light that dispels darkness?" The Sage responds calmly, gazing into the distance. "Love, young man, is a light that shines, even when you close your eyes. It is the glue between what is visible and what is hidden." Mezin teases. What if life doesn't miss the sun, but the warmth it gives? Thoughtfully, Ethan responds. "So love is not what you see, but what you feel?" Bam! Zyriab just sneaked in Physics 101. Love as light, and light, as Einstein taught us, is energy. But here's the kicker. The Sage says, love is the glue. What could that mean? The thing that holds the cosmos together, like gravity but sexier? Quest 2. The Alchemist. Next, they arrive at a village shrouded in alchemical smoke, because nothing says wisdom like an apron full of stains. Etheon curiously responds, "O Alchemist, what is love? Is it the elixir that gives eternal life?" With a playful smirk, the Alchemist says, "Love is an elixir, but an unstable one, a mix of risk and hope. Like any experiment, it takes courage." Mezin chuckles. "You know those people who search for gold in sand. What if love isn't a reaction, but the process of searching?" Etheon, shocked, says, "So, love is the constant mixing of ingredients, even if you never find perfection?" That's so relatable. Love as trial and error. Genius. Burnt spaghetti. Failed first dates. Zyriab gets it. If you've ever overcooked a relationship or undercooked an apology, you'll know exactly what he's saying. Quest 3. The Astronomer. Our travelers climb a hill to meet the astronomer, a man whose telescope seems more like a portal to another dimension. With a calm, wise tone, the astronomer says, "Love is like starlight. What you see now went out millions of years ago, and yet you still feel her as if she's next to you." In disbelief, Etheon says, "But how can love exist if it's long gone?" Because love isn't about the present, It's an echo that carries through time, a connection that lasts forever, even when everything else disappears. Mezin replies, or maybe love is a memory of something greater, Etheon. Don't we always cherish the oldest light more than the new? Oh, goosebumps. Love as a time traveler? Zyriab's not playing fair. This is cosmic romance at its best. And don't tell me this doesn't remind you of that one ex you can't stop thinking about. Quest 4, The Fire Guardian. Next stop, a cave with an eternal flame, guarded by a man who looks like he's seen the rise and fall of empires, or perhaps just the end of the night shift. The god speaks with gravitas. Fire is life, and love is the smoke that says the fire still burns. Even if you don't see it, it's there, ready to reignite. Impatiently, Etheon responds, but what if the fire goes out? Does love die too? The god smiles. Love never fades if you have the courage to rekindle it. It's your decision, not fate. Gently, Mezin replies, maybe love, Etheon, is the spark you nurture, even when you're afraid of the burn. Okay, who gave Zyriab a poetry license? Love as smoke? The man clearly knew relationships weren't easy, but he also knew they were worth it. Quest 5, The Child. And finally they meet a child, barefoot, playing in a puddle, covered in mud, but glowing with joy. Love? It just is, like mud after rain. It's everywhere. You just have to jump in. Puzzled, Etheon replies, but how can you just know? Doesn't it require learning? Mezin says, have you ever asked a puddle why it reflects the sky? It just does. Love is the same. Stop asking, and you'll feel it. Kids, masters of simplicity, leave it to Zyriab to remind us that adults overthink everything. Sometimes you just have to jump into the mud. The final revelation. At last, Etheon and Mezin reach the edge of the world. The sky turns gold, and silence blankets the horizon. Pleading, Etheon turns to Mezin. Mezin, I still don't understand. We've traveled so far, met so many wise ones, but what is love? Smiling gently, Mezin says, what if you've already found it? Maybe love isn't something you see, but something you feel along the way. Etheon realizes. So this journey, your guidance, it was love? Mezin smiles. Sometimes love is like me, Etheon. You don't know where she came from, but you feel like she's always been there. And with those words, Mezin disappears into the morning mist. Etheon is left alone at the edge of the world, but this time, not with a question, but with an answer. So there you have it, a centuries-old fairy tale brought back to life by AI. It's not just a story, it's a map, a guide to understanding love as light, as courage, as timeless connection. And Mezin, she's the fox we all need, the reminder that love is elusive, magical, and always worth the journey.